to the flag States of America and to republic for which it
and to the
stands,
republic for which it
one
stands,
nation,
one nation,
under
God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty
and justice for all.
Thank you.
I am going to before.
The theme of our meeting today is communication is key to healthy relationship. All relationships have ups and downs, but a healthy communication style can make it easier to deal with conflict and build a stronger and healthier partnership. So I see some guests here today, and we would like to call our guests and we want to know what brought them here. So I'm going to start first from Nicole. Nicole, will you please tell us something about you, what brought you here?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicole Fleming, and I am actually a former Toastmaster. I was in a Toastmasters group that was based in Area Q52 back in 2013 through 2017. And after that, I have not attended meetings. I had the pleasure of speaking with Anthony Ally last week, and he told me about your club and invited me to attend the meeting tonight. So that is why I'm here, and I'm excited to spend the next hour and a half with you all.
Welcome back, Nicole. And you are most welcome to come and join us anytime you want.
Thank you.
And our next guest is Stephen. Stephen, would you like to tell us what brought you here? How you hear about us?
Yeah. Well, my name's Stephen Hawley. Currently work at Bureau Veritas. I'm in the oil and gas industry, and I recently got my PMP, and I heard about the organization when I went to the project management conference in Houston last month. So I was advised to attend, and I used to be a Toastmaster at the UHCL about 5 or 6 years ago. So I figure I'd start back on it again. So, and this is my daughter in the background.
Yeah, she's cute. Thank you, Stephen. And it's the same thing for you also, Stephen. Anytime you want to come to our meeting, join anytime. Okay?
All right.
And you know that we have the 2nd and the 4th Wednesdays of the month. So most welcome anytime.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Now I'm going to hand over the meeting to our Toastmasters of the day, who is going to be the very first time Toastmaster, Christina Sinclair.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and new guests, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to the Southwest Project Management Toastmasters Club. For the benefits of our guests, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 rounds. The first is the prepared speech round, where members will be delivering speeches based on their projects and paths that they have chosen. The second part of the session is table topics, where members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet. This round is also known as impromptu speech section. Guests are all welcome to participate, so hopefully everyone will be able to participate. And the third and final part is the evaluation round, in which all of the prepared speeches, as well as other aspects of the session, will be evaluated by the general evaluator, which is me, and I get to evaluate the team. So before we start with the prepared speech, let me talk to you about the theme of the day. Today's theme is communication is key to healthy relationships. So a little bit about it. What we're doing now is practice Toastmasters. We're practicing our speech and our communication. And it's very important because dealing with coworkers, friends, or just someone important in your life, it's something key for the development and to maintain any type of relationship. So without communications, things could get lost in the mix or forgotten altogether. Communication is something entirely looked over and also taken for granted. Communication is something that rarely happens naturally for all of us, which is why we're in Toastmasters. And it's often sometimes something that people have to work on in their relationships and everyday tasks. So communication is important in any relationship as it allows you to effectively share feelings, opinions, avoid communication, and set clear expectations. I encourage you to think about the theme during this meeting. So, as a Toastmaster of the day, it's my duty to introduce the role bearers who will be assisting me in running of today's session. So do we have, oh yes. To keep track of the time spent by each speaker, please help me welcome the timer for today's meeting, Upai.
Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow Toastmasters, guests, you're welcome. Tonight, I'm going to be serving as the timer for today's meeting. My job is very easy, just to make sure this meeting we are able to close 8 or before 8. And in order to do that, I have a duty to make sure that the prepared speakers, I believe that is 5 to 7 minutes. Is there any exception?
Yeah, mine is actually 10 to 12.
Wow.
But I would say, if you all will allow me, I'll just give myself a wider gap, say 8 to 12. I don't want to keep us here in the interest of time, and I don't want to not qualify. So just say 8 to 12. So 8, 10, and 12. 8 for green, 10 for yellow, and 12 for red, if you don't mind. And I'm going to try to finish around 8 minutes.
Okay. Then for those that I will be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes, 5, you will see the green. And for 6, I will flash the yellow. I apologize, I didn't pull it out, but you will definitely see it. I'll make sure that it is in a place you can find me. And then once it's red, it then means you have 30 seconds to round up. 30 seconds and 1 second, you will not qualify. And for the evaluators, that will be 2 minutes to 3 minutes. Once it's 2 minutes, you will see the green. And 2.5, you will see the yellow. 3 on the dot, I will put the red. And that means you have up to 30 seconds to round up. And for the table topic, that will also be for 1.5 to 2. And after 2 minutes, you have 30 seconds to round up. Other than that, I will be coming back to present the timing report. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Upai. To track the good and not so good usage of grammar, we have grammarian of the day, Miss Jessica. Please, Jessica, introduce yourself and your role.
Okay, Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and General Evaluator. As a grammarian, I will introduce the word of day, and then I will also catch the positive phrases that being used during the speech, and also catch watch for any grammarian corrections that need to be taken. And at the end of the meeting, I'm going to give a report for the grammarian usage. The word of the day is verbalized. So it is a verb and it means to express in words, especially by speaking out loud. And another one is speak, especially at excessive length and with little real content. For example, the danger of verbalizing about art. The other one is they are unable to verbalize their real feelings. They can't put it in the words. So basically 2 meanings: express in words, especially speaking out loud. The other one is at excessive length and with little real content. Anyways, back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. To keep track of ahs and ums during the meeting, we have an ah counter of the day. Please let me introduce you, Ave. Ave, please introduce yourself and your role.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening I will be your ah counter. When you're having a casual conversation or in midst of verbalizing your thoughts, it's often that we get carried away and use some crutch words like and sometimes we use a lot. There are few other crutch words like and, so, but then they often gets used as a bridge word, so we will ignore that. Tonight, my role is to point out how many ums were spoken during your speech or during your conversation tonight. Have a good one, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, John is not able to be here to give out his ice-breaking speech. So if it's okay with everyone, can we, Jorge, would you be okay starting your speech?
Absolutely, I'm ready to go.
Well, let me introduce you. So let me introduce everyone. This is Jorge. His speech is called How Communication Style Affect Your Personal Relationships. Jorge is a senior engineer manager with Sugarland, the city of Sugarland. He has been a member of Southwest Management Toastmasters Club since 2019. Currently, he is the VP of Education. Jorge is working on his second pathway effective coaching. Tonight, he'll be completing his level 2 assignment, Understanding Your Communication Style. Jorge will deliver a 5 to 7 minute speech showing the impact of his personal life, having a supportive communication style when communicating with his wife, which has a direct communication style. So everyone, please clap your hands and welcome Jorge to the screen.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Toastmasters. May I share my screen, please? Let's see if I... Do you see my presentation now or still?
Yep.
You see it? Okay, thank you very much. So, good evening, Mrs. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. As humans, engaging in communication is one of our most important activities in our personal and professional life. Successful communications has built empires, driven innovation, made people fall in love, but also unsuccessful communication has ruined relationships, sunk businesses, steered workplace and political conflicts. By a show of hands, any of you know which one is your communication style? Are you a direct communicator, an initiating, an analytical, a supportive communicator? Do you even know what I mean by any of those categories? There are many elements in communicating successfully with people, but one of the most important is recognizing that people respond in different ways to a specific situations when interacting with other person or with a group of people. Everybody processes information in a different way, and it depends on their preference behavioral style. Some people react very quickly to something, almost like fire. Other people think it over before they respond to any communication. That is one of the most important reasons that bring disagreement during a communication engagement. Because sometimes people seem to not understand each other, and it's not necessarily over the topic of the communication, but over the style of the communication. For example, if you are a person that is gushing numbers about a project to a co-worker that prefers to hear the background information first, that person is going to disconnect with you immediately. But on the other hand, if you are providing excessive background information to a person that is a direct communication, that person is going to find you boring. So identifying your primary communication style is very important. But also you need to understand how your communication style differs from others and from what other people try to do. Knowing that will take you a very long way towards successful communications, whether you are speaking to a person or engaging in a one-on-one conversation or to a large group like the one we have here tonight. Since the early 1920s, psychologists have defined communication models based on two categories. One is based on behavioral, or the second is one based on social categories. Based on behavioral, they are dominance, influence, steadiness, compliance. And based on social, they are analytical, driven, amicable, or expressive. However, who knows better about communication than Toastmasters? And the Toastmaster organization have come with a very similar behavior categories that are very easier to explain and probably more direct toward communication. And they are direct, result-oriented and focused people, initiating, sociable and persuasive people, supporting people that is more patient and cooperative, and analytical that are more precise and disciplined. Now, there are many different styles in action. And although everybody has a main type of communication style, majority of us in reality are a combination of style. For example, my main style is supportive, but you can see that I'm also a direct and an initiated, very close to supportive. I'm definitely not an analytical communicator. On the other hand, my wife, she's a direct analytical communicator. She's an oriented, precise, and disciplined person in her communications. And as you can imagine, through the years, we have had several miscommunications, since she is normally very bored and disconnected by the time I'm just starting the communication with her. Since she's a bullet point and flow diagram type of communicator, it has required a big effort from me to adjust my communication style when I need to address very important topics of discussion with her. She tends to get very frustrated in our conversations because since she is a to the point, decisive, and move on to the next topic type of person. On the other hand, as a supportive communicator, I want to listen to other opinions. I want to make sure that everybody is happy with the decision. I want to make sure that the decision have a positive and good impact on everybody. So again, at that time, she's already 3 topics ahead of me. But how do you deal with people that communicate different to you, or people that you don't even know when you start communicating with them? So it's very important that you think about how your communication interfaces with others. You have to be sensitive about other people's needs and about their energy and their form of communication. My recommendation is that you actually evaluate how people communicate and the type of words that they use. Really, words and language can be very revealing about a communication style. When you hear a person talking about tools, strategies, charts, most likely it's an analytical person or a direct communicator. When you hear that person talking about, tell me more about that, I want to hear the rest of the story, that is a supportive communicator. So you have to be attentive at how people communicate with you so you can target your communication style. But you have to be flexible in your style. If you think that your message is not going across or that people or that person is not connecting with you, you have to change your style. You have to try something else. You have to pay attention and know when you have to work on a different style so people don't get disconnected from you. Whether it's as a parent, you are communicating with a parent or a child or a brother or a spouse, even the Uber driver, you communicate with different people in different ways. And you already know that instinctively. So there are sort of useful clues that you have to pick up and bring it to your day-to-day communication activities. But now there is a bigger challenge, remote communication, like these meetings on Zooms or emails or Teams. This type of communications favor direct and analytical people. It's very difficult for influencers and for socialized people. So leaders of these meetings have to make sense to allow people to socialize before the meeting the way we do in our meetings in Toastmasters. And it's very important because we have to bring everything inclusive and we have to allow people to belong. So my call of action for you tonight is find out what is your communication style if you already don't know that. And look at the style of the people that is close to you at work, at home. And the challenge is try to modify your communication style to connect better with the 5 people closer to you in your life, and you will notice a difference. Thank you very much, Mrs. Toastmaster. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Jorge, for giving us this wonderful speech. Please, everyone, or Mr. Timer, Ave, can you please put a minute and everyone write to Jorge in a nice little message or any critiques you have on his speech, please.
One minute is up.
Thank you very much. I would like to introduce our second speaker for the day. Our second speaker, Akeem, an energy industry leader with cross-continental experience, has been with Toastmasters since fall of 2016. He has an unquenchable thirst for good leadership and governance, as well as positive change and transformation. Akeem holds various professional practice licenses, as well as being a distinguished Toastmaster. He is finishing his 4th pathway path tonight. A real football aka soccer fan, Akeem enjoys photography, writing, traveling, and spending quality time with his family. Verbalizing his reflections on his visionary communication path, Akeem will be delivering his final level 5 elective titled The Beautiful Balance Between. Give it up for Akeem.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Recently, I was reflecting, as I normally do. I sat back. I joined Toastmasters, as you heard from Toastmaster Christina in the fall of 2016. And then I sat back recently and I asked myself this question that, okay, how have I improved myself? How have I maintained balance in my life? What really have I done for others? Because I believe that success to me doesn't mean just what I'm able to do for me, and me alone. What am I able to do for others? And by that, I'm not talking about money, and money could be a part of it. So here is my question to each and every one of you tonight. Where and or what in your life do you need balance? Easily, when we talk about balance, people are already thinking about work and life. But beyond that, there are other areas of life where we need to maintain balance. And as I reflected recently on my journey, and I realized that in the past, I probably didn't maintain a nice balance. But today, by the grace of God, I've gotten to a point in my life within the Toastmasters International and in the world in which I dwell to be able to step back and ask myself, am I doing something too much here? Do I need to strike a balance here? Really, my message to each and every one of you tonight is all about maintaining balance. And I'll tell you a simple story. Several years ago, my family and I have a family of 5, we were on a vacation in Canada, not in the northern part of Ontario, really. And I remember us being in this park, and our youngest, he wanted to try everything in that park. And then he wanted to go on a roller coaster. And I said, no, don't do that. I mean, number one, you're going to be the only one. Mom is not going to climb that with you. Maybe your brother would. Anyway, at the end of the day, we didn't do that. And then I can't tell you all how many times he complained about that. And he said, I could not believe that my family chickened out on just a common roller coaster. We didn't do it. But again, when you talk about balance, we go to another spot at a park where they have what we call articulated buggy, where you will ride on this like a big caterpillar and will take you through a dark underground, rough surfaces, watery surfaces, and then it's going to move you back and forth. I said, okay, this is not roller coaster. Let's just ride on it. And we did it. I was very grateful to God that I rode on the same one with my wife. Otherwise, maybe we'll be telling a different story tonight. We survived that, and my wife just told me, never again, because of how scary it was. But let me tell you, it may sound really funny. What balance are you maintaining between courage and fear? Let me tell you tonight, or let me remind you rather, without fear, as human beings, we will do stupid things. That is the beauty of fear. But also without courage, we may never even achieve our purpose in life. But can I remind you that, interestingly, the opposite of courage is not cowardice. What is it? It's conformity. Oh, no, I must take one for the team. Oh, no, I don't want to rock the boat. Oh, no, I don't want to do this. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. And because of that, we are not actually fulfilling our purpose in life. And I realized in thinking about this and talking to you now, you're wondering, okay, so what's your point? Look at yourself as a member of the Toastmasters International. Do you have the courage that you need to make the progress that you need to make? Or are you just conforming or afraid all the time? Oh, no, I'm not good at public speaking. Oh, no, I don't want to be out there. Oh, no, I don't want to take this role. I mean, look at Christina tonight. The last meeting she spoke. Tonight, she's not just the Toastmaster, she's the GE. Rafia, the same thing. She was a functionary during the last meeting. Tonight, she is a presiding officer and also was going to be an evaluator, but for the fact that the speaker number one didn't show up. I just want to encourage you all. Courage is the ability to do something that will really frighten you. But then, I don't want you to continue to live your life, particularly being a part of Toastmasters International and being afraid to speak. I want to challenge you tonight. What is it that you're afraid of? Where are you conforming in your life? There is a beautiful balance between courage and fear. There is a beautiful balance between work and life. Can you imagine you not working at all? Can you imagine the demerits of not working? Can you imagine the demerits of just living alone and not doing anything to earn revenues, to make money, to be able to support your children or support your family in general? Just think about it. There is a nice balance somewhere. I am not going to sit here tonight and tell you, no, courage all the time, or conformity all the time, or life all the time, or work all the time. There needs to be a balance. And I don't know what the balance is for you and where it is in your life. You know, I don't. But experience has shown me that it is very important for us to strike a balance. And when you strike the right balance, that balance will not just be right, it will be beautiful because it's actually going to help you to grow. There will be time in our life when we need to support the team, even though we have a dissenting opinion. And there will be time in our life when we have to take a stand because it is the right thing to do. And I don't know where you are in your life and what you are going through right now. I don't know what your struggles are. I am here to encourage you as I've encouraged myself. As you heard, I'm finishing Pathways part number 4 tonight. I didn't start this way. In fact, it may shock you to realize that up till January 2020, I didn't know that there was anything like DTM until when I was part of a contest. And I started hearing names like this person DTM, that person DTM. And I remember asking, I think it was Camille that time, what's that? This was just a little over 2 years ago. I'm a DTM now. I sat back. I didn't do anything for fear of this, for fear of that. But all of you here, you know yourself. You challenged me to be who I am today. I challenged myself a little bit, but you pushed me, you encouraged me, you trusted me that, Akin, you can do this. Thank you also very much. And I'm here to let you all know that the remainder of my life, I want to encourage people. I want to help them understand that it's okay to conform, but don't live in that zone the entire life, for your entire life. Rather, be courageous. And sometimes, just as the word of the day says, maybe all we need to do is verbalize it. Because I know people have asked me, somebody asked me before, that, Akin, how are you doing today? And you say, you know what, some days I do really well. Today I'm doing really, really well. And I told this individual, I said, this morning when I was leaving my house, I looked at myself in the mirror. I said, wow, boy, some days you look great. Today you are looking freaking good. I told myself that. I said, with that said to myself, verbalizing that to myself, there was no stopping me. And these were times when normally I should be done, because that's what everything around me told me. Everything around me told me, no, you're just going to go there and mess yourself. No, you can't do this. No, you're not going to be able to do that. But I am my number one challenger. And I want to encourage you all tonight. Challenge yourself. Look at where you are. Remember, as you embrace the beautiful balance around you in your life, particularly when we talk about the subject of courage, there is one fundamental, and that is vulnerability. You have to be ready to embrace vulnerability completely. That is really where I'm going to leave you tonight. Because if you don't want to be vulnerable, you won't be able to move forward. And if you don't move forward, you are probably not going to fulfill purpose. I am where I am today because I chose within myself to move forward. And therefore, I was able to experience the beautiful balance between courage and conformity, between work and life, between decisions and indecisions. Thank you very much. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Akeem. Thank you for verbalizing and expressing your feelings. It's very encouraging. Everyone, please, or timer, please put a minute on the clock. And everyone, please write any comments to Akeem about his speech or any suggestions.
One minute is up.
Thank you. Do our speakers qualify?
One person qualified. Jorge had 8 minutes as against 7 minutes 30 seconds. And Akin qualified 11 minutes 4 seconds.
Thank you. All right. So should we start with round 2? Okay. Well, to provide us with the challenge for today's table topic rounds, we have table topic master Jorge, who will be conducting this session today. Please help me welcome Jorge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Toastmasters. So I guess since tonight's topic is communications, I found that nothing more appropriate than to have a table topic questions related to communication. So I also brought my Wheel of Fortune that I have here with me with all your names in it. So that's going to select the speaker completely by random. So it could be any of us. Well, I guess if you have a speak, you won't have to speak again. So the first question is going to be, can you verbalize the main, only one, objective that you expect to accomplish this year at Toastmasters? So let me start the Wheel of Fortune here. Do you need to say it or I just roll it here? Let's see if I can. Oh my gosh, what happened with my? Uh-oh. Okay, here it is. Here it is. So I'm going to spin it. Spinning. And selected one is Rafia.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master, for giving me a question to answer. You said only one. Actually, I have a long list to improve, but you're limiting to one only. Okay, so that's fine. I'll stick to one. Basically, what I want to work on, the very first thing to eliminate my anxiety whenever I'm speaking in public. So I want to eliminate that anxiety. I want to be relaxed. I want to enjoy that. That's the very first thing that I have to work on, and the rest of the things will come later on. So Jorge, that's the one thing that I would like to work for this year. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Rafia. Thank you very much. So following up with our communication style questions, number 2 tonight is going to be, again, which one, only one, of your communication skills are you actively working on improving this year, and why you want to improve that skill? Let us go back to our Wheel of Fortune again. And the winner is Nicole.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. The one objective that I'm working on this year with regards to public speaking, I think has to do with feeling flawless in my communication with others. And when I say feeling flawless, I mean feeling comfortable, feeling as if I'm very confident in the words that I share, and also with how I'm communicating to others. Because my goal is always to communicate in a way where people feel heard, as well as I feel as though what I've said makes sense. So in that light, that is my goal for 2022 and probably ongoing. I want to speak flawlessly at all times when I have to. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So we are going to our question number 3. Now we are going to switch a little bit from communications to leadership, since we are a project management club, PMI sponsor club. So we need to know about a little bit about which one is your development plan for your continuous leadership growth this year, and what role does Toastmasters, and more specifically this Toastmaster Club, play in that plan? So once again, let's our wheel select the speaker. And the speaker is no other than our Toastmaster of the evening, Christina.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. How did I know it was going to be me? Oh, Well, I know that I struggle a lot with expressing and verbalizing what I need to get out. Also, I know I have a problem with organization because sometimes I don't think before I speak. So all my thoughts are jumbled. And with Toastmasters, I hope that I'll be better in organizing my thoughts. And with being organized, I'm able to effectively communicate to other people, which will hopefully translate to what I do every day in the career as a professional, because it's very important to communicate clearly and with being organized effectively to other people on your team. Because as an architect, we have to be the ultimate person to be able to organize and put pieces together. So it's important to have that skill perfected, that to help facilitate everyday tasks. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Christina. Thank you very much. Very good, very good. All right, Mr. Tamer, do we have time for another question?
I think so. I think we have till 7:21, right?
Okay. I hope that we can have.
Yeah, you have 3 more minutes.
Okay, well, we can maybe have time for a couple of questions then.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question for everybody here, and you may be selected, is: are you happy with the improvements on your communication skills since you joined Toastmasters? And what do you need to do to achieve your maximum potential as a Toastmaster member? Very specific question, but I don't expect a yes or no answer, okay? So let's see. Right, well, our past president, Upai.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master. It's been 8 years. I stepped my feet in Sugarland, and I was Southwest Toastmaster. And I'm still here. I have gone through so many things. First, I came with curiosity, what Toastmaster is all about. When I came in, I realized it has a lot to offer. For anyone who is coming to Toastmaster, I want you to have an open mind. It is an environment that is supportive. It is an environment where you can learn from people who have passed through the journey you want to go through. How did I get that accomplished the first time I joined, that I didn't know my left or my right, which project? Then we used to have project 1 to 10 for you to have your CC. I got a mentor. If you are here and you are new, within the first 1-2 weeks, maximum 1 month, make sure you have a mentor. If the VP doesn't let you have that, remind the VP you need to have one. Number 2, don't just stay here to listen to others. Get to do something. We have roles from speaker to impromptu to filling functionary role. Each of these are ways to make you better and better to achieving your potential, not only in Toastmaster, but also in your private, personal, and your career. In all this, a lot stand for you to gain as a Toastmaster who is here to work, who is here to help others. In all, there are lots to gain in Toastmaster. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Spike. Thank you. Great, great. Excellent answer. Really appreciate that. So I hope that we have time for 2 more questions. I really need time for 2 more questions. So here goes the next one. What single component, one more please.
Mr. Table Topic Master, except if you want to use the time for the speaker that we missed. Other than that, you would have been up.
Okay. Okay. Let me go with one more. Let me go with one more. And I think that this is a very important one. What single, only one, single component of your professional life has received a positive influence by your participation in Toastmasters, and why? Once again, our Wheel of Fortune is going to select. There are not many of us out here. Jessica!
Thank you. I'm waiting for you to. I'm waiting for the real Wheel of Fortune to pick me up. Yeah. So I definitely have more than one component that is influenced from Toastmaster, but since you only want me to name one, definitely.
Yes.
I just want to give you an example. This Monday is our internal project meeting, and my program manager, he was busy, so he told me, he said, can you please lead that meeting? I said, sure, of course, I'm ready. So we have about 20 people attending that meeting, and we basically go through a certain agenda to conduct meeting, get everybody's input in the project, where the progress are and what they need and all those stuff. And I went through one discipline to the another discipline, and I watched the time, and then if there's certain discussion they want to do, I time it. If it's too much, if it's become a big conversation, then I will say, you need to watch the time, we need to move on. So with that in mind, I was able to cover all disciplines and then finish in 1 hour the meeting. So after meeting, I got comments that straight to the point, everybody finished, not wasting anybody's any time. So that's what I learned from the timer, being a timer and conduct my speech. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Great, 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 great speech and great examples of how Toastmaster can help us, all of us. Well, Mrs. Toastmasters, Mr. Timer, thank you for the deference, and thank you for allowing our participants to remind all of us of how much Toastmaster is doing for all of us, not only for one or two, but for all of us. And I just want to remind everybody that the more we participate and the more we volunteer, the more we can take back out of this organization. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. Timer, Mr. Timer, does everyone qualify?
No.
Okay.
Rafia had 40 seconds. She needed 1 minute to qualify. Other than that, every other person qualified.
Ballot counter. Can we vote for not only the best speaker, but also the best table topic?
Yes, just give me 1 second.
Well, we
Or
cannot,
unless you want to do it later.
we cannot vote for best speaker because
No, I have it. I have it already. I just need to remove. We said Rafia is the only person that didn't qualify, right? Mr. Timer. Yes, okay. I will push it out right now. Just give me a second. I'm so sorry. I had it now. This thing disappeared on me. Just give me a second. Okay, it's back now. So we have Nicole, Christina, Opai, and Jessica, correct? In that order. Mr. Timer, Nicole, Christina, Opai, and Jessica.
Correct.
Thank you, sir. So please go ahead. It's only Christina that will not be able to vote because I made her a co-host.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you will not see it. Okay, I'm ending. Okay. Well. All right. Thank you all so very much. Back to you,
Thank
Madam
you.
Toastmaster.
Oh, yes, thank you. Did the best or did the speakers, did they qualify? So we could, no, none of them? Okay. Well,
Oh, hey, you are mute. Oh, hey, you are mute.
I was saying that Akim qualified, I did not qualify. I exceed my
oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. So let's move on to our third round. My role as an evaluator, I will introduce our first evaluator. Rafia, would you please evaluate our first speaker?
No, right, because we didn't have a first speaker.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, so it's gonna be me
second.
now. I'm
yeah.
gonna
Oh, yes,
Ohe,
sorry. Oh, yes,
and then Ohe is gonna evaluate me.
yes.
We're going to cross-evaluate each other.
Sorry.
Cross evaluate. Sorry,
Yeah.
I got confused. Yes. Akeem, please, will you evaluate speaker number 1 or 2?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, in this instance. Ohe, I feel good when I call you Dr. Alba. It just makes me, there's something that does in me. Please, don't mind me. I thank you so much and congratulations for your speech tonight. That was phenomenal as always. I am going to use the methodology that I used, I believe, either for you or Christina. I think it was Christina before. I call it the CDCS methodology: content, delivery, connection, and one standout. CDCS. In terms of content, you knocked it out of the park. I mean, you nailed it. Let me put it simply that way. Your table of contents was very clear. Your slides, very clean, very crisp. I believe that I'm sure if you sit back, look at your very first presentation as a Toastmaster and your presentation tonight, I'm sure you'll be able to tell yourself without me even telling you that then it was night, it is day now. Thank you so much for continuing to look for ways to improve yourself. I mean, that was very good. Very simple, easy to read through, easy to follow. I thought that was good. Well done. The content too, appropriate for the title, which was communication style and personal relationships. And you listed everything out and you ended with a call to action. I thought that was very good because presenting that upfront allowed you to be able to tell us that, hey guys, I am on a journey. Please follow me. This is where I'm leading you to, which is always very good in any speech. In terms of delivery, the message was very clear. And I like your background frame. It's very clean, very professional. I always talk about it because when you see backgrounds that are convoluted, you say, oh, this is not good. It will actually be distracting to the people who are listening to you in a virtual environment. So very well done. and then the right side slide deck. Your slide deck, there are not too many. It's just that you spend too much time on a few because of the passion. That was why you went over time, because that speech, there was no reason I would say, okay, for you to not deliver it within 7 minutes and 29 seconds, to be honest. So, but you went too far, and that would be the only opportunity area, if you ask me. In terms of connection, I mean, everybody that will agree with me that that was relatable, because you spoke to us, you asked us questions, you challenged us in a way that will enable us to believe what you are talking about. And then the standout for me, of course, was the call to action. You said, consider how you may modify your styles in order to connect with at least 5 people in your life. I thought that was very good, because you help us to be able to zero in on what you really want us to take away. Well done, Ohe. Congratulations. Let's do it again. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Our next evaluator is Jorge. Jorge, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Toastmasters. So I got the privilege to evaluate Akim tonight, which is also always a very good speaker. So I'm going to follow the same methodology: content, connection, and delivery. So nothing new here. Akim, excellent, very relatable speech. You were able to verbalize that dichotomy between success and fear, that balance between success and or between, I will say, courage and fear. You're able to bring your personal life experience and even a personal experience from a family vacation and relate to all of us in your content, that we really were able to visualize what you were telling us. And you use that family experience as a way, a very good way to show the difference between courage and fear. And even in your case, you related saying that your whole family weren't able to get into the roller coaster, and that you kind of regretted not doing it because that was kind of a one in a lifetime experience. So the way you presented your content was very simple, but not simplistic, because it has a lot of depth. And you talk about that, what you should be in the walk of life, and that you have to break that fear to be able to support your family, and that you have to have that dichotomy that if we don't have fear, we may be doing stupid things, but if we don't have courage, we will get nothing done, we get nowhere. So your content was excellent, very simple again, but to the point. You really verbalize your speech very clearly. Your connection, you had great connection and great use of your computer screen and your camera. The way you look into the camera, again, I feel like I'm just sitting across the table with you and that you are talking to me. Your hand gesture basically just emphasize on the different situations. You make it very clear. And even I saw something that I haven't seen on you before, and is that you use some slightly exaggerated head and body movements to make an important idea very impactful. And I found that was really, at the beginning, I saw why he's moving his head out of the camera. But no, you did it intentionally to make an important idea important. And your delivery, very powerful, very clear message, but it was very, very well delivered. Great start, great use of personal reflections about how to maintain that balance between courage and fear. Very clear to the point of the topic was powerful, related to all of us. And at the end, a good call of action when you talk about challenge yourself to encourage other people, not only yourself, but to encourage other people to break that fear, to deliver, to live outside of the comfort zone. I think altogether excellent speech. Thank you very much, Akim.
Thank you very much, Jorge. Mr. Timer, do both evaluators qualify?
Yes, Madam Toastmaster.
Ballot counter Will you be able to make a ballot for us to vote who would be the best evaluator?
Okay, now it's back. It's disappearing on me for some reason. I'm so sorry. Okay, you're good to go. Okay, I'm gonna be ending poll. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Now, next, we'll hear from our grammarian Jessica, who's been listing for good uses of language as well as points out of improvements. You may give your report, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So for use of the word of the day, verbalized, I have caught quite a few. Abby used once, Jorge twice, Christina twice. If I miss anybody, please let me know or applaud for yourself for using the word of the day. And then better usage of positive usage of languages. First in Jorge's speech, he's talked about excessive communication and little communication, very vivid word. And a good phrase is, who knows better than the Toastmaster about the communication? I think that's really, really smart question. And compliment everybody in this meeting, in this club, right? So who knows better on the communication than Toastmaster, because we practice on daily basis. I mean, every other week or in our life too. And then he talked about the 4 different styles. I won't list them all, but he also talked about allow people the better communication, allow people to belong, and allow people to connect better. I think that's a really powerful phrase. And in Akin's speech, talking about the balance of work and the life, and balance between the courage and fear. And I like the definition you use for the courage is ability to do something that is really frighten you. Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. I didn't think about it, but then I thought, yeah, basically, since you're afraid, but you are able to conquer that and then continue doing it. That's the courage. And then you said, without fear, you will do something stupid. Without courage, you won't be able to achieve a task. That's a very, very powerful message. And the last, it's okay to conform, but don't live in that zone in the entire life. That's a good call on action to all of us. It's good to set back sometimes to think about what we have done right and wrong, but then always need to move on and then challenge yourself. And then in Rafia's speech, I like the way you said what you want to improve on is anxiety. And then you said, I need to relax first, and then I need to enjoy my speech or whatever roles you're taking. So that's a very powerful message. And in Nicole's speech, you talk about feeling flawless, flawlessness. So basically being confident and make sense, and then just be able to communicate better and better. That's a really good message. And Christina talk about organization speech, and you use the thoughts jumbles. That's very vivid, that I think about, oh, I do that all the time. So that's really good that you can be able to use try to learn how to organize the speech and then organize in life. And then Upai, when you do your speech, you talk about when I step in my feet at Sugarland Southwest Toastmaster the Project Management Club. Like I can imagine the day you were there, and then 8 years ago. It's very, very vivid expression. And then you talk about a lot of how this club can offer us, and then encourage everybody to open mind, and then to this environment, everybody support each other and find a mentor. All those are really, really good messages. That's all my evaluation. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Ms. Grammarian. The AHA counter tracks the use of verbal pauses and ahs and ums that comes out of our mouths while we think of the next thing to say. Please, everyone, welcome Ave, and please give us your report.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As an R counter tonight, I drew a picture of a puppy. And let's take a step back and why I said that. And I'm going to provide you a cheat code. If ever you want to participate, and especially this works in Southwest Project Management here, you want to attend a meeting and don't want to do much and sit back and relax, take the R counter rule. Everybody is so polished. I wrote the R counter rule on top of the paper, and then I was waiting with my pen. What to write? Nobody is saying a stuff. Maybe rather I'll just draw a puppy or a tree or something. And I was amazed to see our guest, Nicole, as well as Stephen. Both of you were also like completely polished in terms of how you are communicating. So good job. Thank you for making me sit back and do nothing tonight. Back to you, Madam Grammarian.
Thank you very much. It is important to get your message across in a allowed time and for a meeting to run according to the schedule. Our timer, Upai, will you please tell us your report?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As the timer, I would like to present my report. We had two speakers. First speaker, Jorge, used 8 minutes. Speaker number 2, Akin, used 11 minutes, 4 seconds. And for our evaluators, Akin evaluated Jorge, and he used 3 minutes, 13 seconds. Jorge evaluated Akin, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. For table topic, Rafia, 40 seconds. Nicole, 1 minute, 8 seconds. Christina, 1 minute, 33 seconds. Upai, 2 minutes, 10 seconds. Jessica, 1 minute, 19 seconds. That concludes my timer's report. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Before we conclude this third part, I want to applaud everyone for encouraging each other and being able to use the word of the day, and also being very patient with me as well as being a Toastmaster. It's difficult juggling multiple roles, and I applaud everyone for doing this in the past. I don't know how you guys have done that. It's hard for me to focus on so many different things, and you guys make it look like it's flawless. So thank you very much. So if we have do we have some time, Mr. Timer, to any Q&A questions?
Yes, I think we are still on time for 5 minutes.
Okay. So this is the time where if anyone can talk, if they have any questions to ask any of our team Toastmaster members, any questions? This is your time to speak up.
So
I have
for
a question.
example, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Akin. After that, I'll go. Go ahead. You can finish your thought, Akin. After that, I'll
No,
ask my
you go. I insist.
Okay. Okay. My question is for Christina. This is your first time after giving your icebreaker speech, being a Toastmaster, and then on top of it, being a general evaluator. What did you learn from this experience today?
Oh, wow. Well, what I learned is what I feel like what I learned is well, one, I feel a little more comfortable with kind of each role and just kind of the way the meetings run, but also I know I've learned what to do and not to do as far as being organized and having the script ready. I need to rely on it less, the script, rely on it less, and focus more, use it more as like a guide and not as though, I'm reading a play. And so what I've learned is I could not to be so tense. I'm always so tense, and not to take it so of course seriously, but not have some wiggle room to move and grow and not stick to being a robot and just reading. So I can learn to be let loose a little bit. Thank you. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, so I'm so glad that I let Avi go first. Otherwise, I would have stolen his thunder completely. Thank you so much, Avi. I mean, this is why I really appreciate you always. Avi has helped me out. He said exactly what I was going to say.
I will say to Christina that, it's amazing what you did, because, you are one of our newest member, and you took the bull by the horns and run along with being the Toastmasters with no fear. And I think you did a great job. And yes, there is always room for all of us to improve. And that's the whole idea. If we were perfect at this, we won't be here. We'll be professional public speakers. We won't be spending our Wednesday evenings trying to improve ourselves. So I think you did excellent. And next time will be better and better and better.
Thanks, Jose. As I said, thanks, Oe. Yeah, I agree with Oe 100%. And just to buttress Oe's point, the recipe for continuous improvement, Christina, is don't wait too long. Take on a similar role again. Because, like I kind of mentioned it in my speech, some of you will not believe. If Avi had asked me what is different between area director and division director in January 2020, I had zero clue. And people thought I knew everything just because I like to talk. That was really, I was mixing it up. Oh, well, let me say probably the last part of 2019, leading into 2020, when we got into the contest season. That was really when I hit my Toastmaster. And I had been a member since 2016. And I actually was an officer, you know, during the period. But look, you get from something what you put into it. And I realized that the more I speak, it may appear that I make more mistakes. I actually get better, but because my bar is higher. So if it may feel as if I didn't do well, but people will provide me feedback. I say, wow, oh, I said all that. So that's the thing. So do it again and again and again, like speaking. Don't wait for too long, because once you wait for too long, and because nobody is going to let it affect your appraisal at the end of a year, you can just sit back, relax, and don't worry, just conform. But it's not going to help. So just do it again and again and again and again, and then go to other clubs, see how people are running all these meetings, because I learned a lot, not just from this club, but by visiting other clubs, because I had the opportunity. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Well, I would like to thank you very much for the encouraging compliments and words. I would like to introduce, or actually, this is time for our awards. So let me share my screen. Let's see. Now everyone can see my screen. All right. Drum roll, please. Everyone. All right, let's see. And the award for best speaker for today is, let's see. Well, and the winner is Akeem for best speaker. Thank you very much, Akeem, for everything that you've done. So now our next drum roll, please, for best table topic. We have, and the winner is Nicole. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Nicole.
Thanks. That's shocking.
You did very well. And like Ave said, you're flawless. Seemed like it came natural to you. So the next, our best evaluator award goes to everyone, drum roll. And the winner is Jorge. Congratulations, Jorge.
Congratulations, Jorge.
Thank you.
Oh. And we have another winner, but it's Rafia. She will give out a shout out award.
Okay. So the shout out award that I am to present to Christina yourself for taking major roles today.
Oh God, thank you.
You did wonderful.
Thank you.
You did great. So now I am going to go for one quick announcement. Then I would like to ask the feedback from our guests. The quick announcement is for about the paying of our renewal of membership dues. Thank you so much for those who have already done that. For those who have not done, please make sure that we get the payment as soon as possible, because out of 23 members, I'm still waiting for 13 more members to pay. So please consider it and do it as soon as possible. That was my quick announcement. And then I would like to ask our guest to please verbalize their experience I'm going to start first from, I think that maybe Nicole has left, so I'm left with only one guest,
No, she's
Stephen.
still here. Nicole is still here.
Is she here? Why I cannot see her? Oh, sorry, Nicole.
I'm still here.
Okay, you know what? So, okay, Nicole, let's start with Stephen, then we'll come to you. Okay, Stephen, will you please verbalize what was your experience? How was your experience?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was talking to my wife. But no, I had a really good experience. I thank you all for speaking. It was just hard to get back into the groove of things, but I really connected with Keen's speech there because I was, kind of going through the same thing and just having to, you know, find your purpose and find that balance in life so you're not getting burned out, especially with this whole pandemic thing. So that really struck a nerve with me. But other than that, I mean, I had a great experience, and hopefully hope to be back in 2 weeks.
Sure. Thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you for the feedback. Now we are going to come to you, Nicole. So you joined the meeting and you attended the meeting after 4 or 5 years, you said. So how did you find our meeting today?
Thank you, Rafia. I was invited to this meeting through Anthony Ally, and I had known him just in passing, essentially, when I was a Toastmaster previously. And we had a great conversation, and he asked the question, "Are you still in Toastmasters?" And I said, "No, I have not been to a meeting in several years." So he invited me to your club, and I'm very happy that I took the time to join tonight. It's been great. I got on early and was able to speak with Jorge, Christina, and I think Akeem was in the background listening to us jibber jabber. And it was just a warm environment. So I was very happy to hear all of the speeches today. I thought everyone did a phenomenal job. I'm not sure if I communicated the way I was supposed to, but I did send the speakers a message through the chat to say the parts that I enjoyed the most. And I took notes. I work in human resources, so anytime I hear something that sparks an interest or I think is a valid point, there were a lot of encouraging words that were shared. So I took some notes and I have those to go home with tonight. And I was very surprised that I actually wanted table topics. So thank you for allowing me to spend time with you. I will definitely be back. I don't know if I'll be back in 2 weeks, but I will definitely be back.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Thank you. Anytime.
Thank you.
Okay. So we are almost closing the meeting. So I would like to know for our next meetings, Toastmaster. Any volunteer who can be the Toastmaster in our next meeting? Anyone? Okpai, Jessica, anyone?
I'm speaking next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. Both of us.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay. Then
Uh-huh.
then Avi is the only other alternative to be Toastmaster because the one that is not speaking.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Avi, for volunteering. So you are going to be the Toastmaster for the next meeting. So anyone who can volunteer as a GE for next meeting? Okay, Jorge, thank you so much, Jorge. So yeah, so you are going to be the GE for next meeting, and Avi is going to be the Toastmaster.
And
So
I would take table topics then.
Oh, you will take. Okay, that's
Yeah,
great.
I'll
That's
do
great.
table topics.
I did upload in the chat the table topics for tonight. So if you want to have a few minutes of reflection this weekend, go ahead through those 7 questions and
Okay.
see.
Thank you for sharing that.
To check on your goals and to check on what you have taken out of Toastmasters during this year. So especially for you, Nicole, you may be finding some of these questions very interesting for you.
Awesome. Yeah. And I'll be the presiding officer for next meeting also. And thank you very much for attending the meeting. Our guest, Nicole and Stephen, And thank you for all the members for their participation and taking the roles instantly. And I'm going to close the meeting with the golden words. That is, be courageous. Because without courage, you cannot achieve purpose of life. So all of you have a good night. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you very
Take care.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done, Rafael. That's how to do it. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thanks,
Good
Christina.
job.
Okay,
Good
Thanks,
bye-bye.
job.
Rafael. Thanks,
Christina.
everyone.
Thank
That's the way to
Bye.
do it. I appreciate you all. Yeah,
No
excellent.
worries.
Good job.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, all right. Have a good night.
You too.
Hey,
Thanks,
Akim,
Stevie.
do we need to plan a officers meeting in
Yeah.
October?
Yes. What date is it now? It's just,
So we said that we're going to have the weekend in between the two meetings.
yeah.
So technically, the next week we should have the officer meeting in September because it's between the two meetings.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's fine. And the date is, I'm just trying to,
So that should be next Monday, technically. But
yeah, next Monday,
you want to
19.
have it at 7 p.m. next Monday, like
Yeah,
usually?
let me see what I have here next Monday. And that will be at 7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock. That's the time.
Okay, yeah, that should be good. Because I have a district meeting that will end at 7 o'clock. And if they're not done by 7, I'll just leave.
Okay, so
But I'll probably leave around 6:55.
I'll send you the invite at 7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
You want
So
to
just
share
send the invite to all the officers.
with the officer? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right.
send it to all the officers. And
Go ahead and send it for
yeah,
next Monday.
yeah, that's right, for next Monday. That's perfect. Yeah, and then we just need to talk about.
You want to do it on Zoom like we did last time, or because
Yeah, I think let's do Zoom maybe for October.
For October?
Depending on where we are, we can try to see if we can meet in person.
Okay. Yeah, that will be good. Maybe we can.
Yeah, let's try for October, and then we'll discuss it on Monday.
Okay, so
we'll discuss it on Monday, but next Monday, let's do it via Zoom, the same meeting URL.
Yes, okay, so I'll send in a few minutes then.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, perfect. See you next Monday then.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, OA, for everything that you do to move us forward. So I will send through my level 5 completion notification in the next few days.
Okay, yeah. And
so that we can get that you get that credit.
If you can approve my level 2 also.
Yeah, I will go in the system and approve it.
Okay, perfect.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Okay, good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.